You're paying to build a wall around your property to show ownership of that particular land. And as you just mentioned, you have to build, is it the house or the fence roof level high? Is it the fence?
The house to roof level, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So again, guys, so those of you that are listening and you're looking for free land in Africa, well, there is no free land in Africa. We've just cleared that up for the record, because you do have to pay processing fees. You do have to pay to get that land registered. So there is a cost, okay, for that. All right. So I just want to kind of clear that up for everyone that's saying that land in Africa is free, because when we start saying that there's free land, then you got people thinking that the land is free. And as you said, nothing is free in the world. Everything costs something.
Yeah, and every piece of land you get, you're going to have to go through registration and processing fees or whatever, and then pay whatever the cost it is for the land. So maybe it's free in the essence of you don't have to pay for the land itself. It's just the processing. But, and then, of course, you because you have a plot of land, it doesn't mean you have the money to build on it. So even if you do get the free land, you still have to come up with the funds to build yourself, and you might be able to get assistance support here to help you do it. But, definitely you have to have the funds. And then you have to figure out where you're going to stay while you're building as well. So that's
exactly.
Did you have to pay?
That has to be calculated.
Yeah.
It has to be calculated into that fee. And then correct me if I'm wrong, but there is a time frame from the moment you purchase land or you invest in your land. You've got 2 years to either build on that land or build a fence on that land and or be living in the land of Ghana, right?
Yeah, well, it depends on where you buy land and the kind of deal that you make with whether it's family land or stool land, chieftaincy land, or what have you. It depends on the deal, but for the most part, most people are you get something what's called an indenture, which is something that leads to you getting your title, and it says that you have to build to lintel level or roof level within 2 to 3 years. Depends on where you're at. The average is between 2 and 3 years that you have to build. And then if you don't, then they have the right to take the land back, or you just come and have some kind of other negotiation. Some people, like with me, I was able to just let some farmers just farm on the land. Basically, it shows you that this land is sold and that so it discourages anybody else from coming behind you and trying to buy the same land. So it's good. The best way to claim land here is to get the land and immediately put some kind of structure on it. Or if you have a farmer that can farm on the land, depending on how much land you have, then they're always there. So they'll be the ones that's able to protect the land and say, no, this land belongs to Dr. Sharita or a Black American. They might just kind of describe whatever, and then that discourages other people from buying the land behind you.
Sure. And that makes sense. So I appreciate you for sharing that with us about the land. You've got some initiatives coming up really soon, next year. So let's talk a little bit about that. And then before we get out of here, I'd definitely love for you to tell us a little bit more about the citizenship, the special citizenship petition that worked in your favor. So let's talk about Africa 2021 Year of Healing.
Yeah, so we have the African Culture and Wellness Festival, and this is going to be the first virtual festival because of the times that we're in. We're going to do it virtual, which I'm kind of excited about because I get a chance to make it a little more broad. I can deal with other countries. I don't have to fly. I usually have Muta Baruka and Dr. Aris Latham, a raw food chef, and I've had Queen Afua and Master African Dance teacher Mustafa Bengora. I had different people to come through. This is the 6th edition, and by me doing it this way, I'm able to not have to fly anybody in, for one. It's definitely going to be a lower cost, to do it. But at the same time, I'm going to be able to get more variety. And then I can get people, I might even decide to go to Rwanda. I'm not sure yet, but I can do it from there. You know what I'm saying? I can be anywhere in the world and do it. So this is going to be the first year that we do virtual. And even when we go back into when things become, I won't say back to normal, but when things become better, then we'll be doing, the festival as normal along with the tour. And then we'll continue with the virtual. So this year we do a lot of different workshops in reference to like plant-based diet. We have some different vegan chefs that come through and do some workshops. We have holistic healing, herbal herbalists that will come and show us different home remedies you can do for basic, illnesses that we deal with on a regular basis. We have someone who does natural hair and skin care to get people out of using so many chemicals and come out of these weaves and perms and things like that, so we can stop, harming our body and causing, carcinogens or cancer-causing agents to build up in our bodies. We have, we do a lot of what we call Afro fitness. So we have someone who does African Afro aerobics. We have African traditional dance. We'll do comedic yoga. And we also have capoeira, which is basically an African form of martial arts that's originally from out of Angola and become popular in Brazil. So, and then we have something called the Peanut Butter Kids, which is a year-round program for the children where we get together once a month and do different arts and crafts to preserve the arts of Africa, because that's something that's kind of going out the window as well. Just like in the States, they've taken a lot of the arts programs out, and they're doing the same thing here. So we want to make sure that the children understand that arts is very important because it tells the history and the time of day of a particular race of people in a time. So so we're doing some things with that. And then we have our different artists. Usually we have one international artist and then local artists. And then this time I'll be happy to have somebody from Los Angeles and from Atlanta, some other parts of, we're looking to even get an artist out of Barbados, and of course our artists here in Ghana. Then we also have poetry, we have spoken word. So there's a lot of different things that goes on, and we're gonna it's gonna go on from 12 noon to 6 p.m. GMT time, which is Ghana time, and that's 7 a.m. New York time or Eastern Standard Time.
Okay.
And for more information, they can just go to the website, or they can, those numbers that you gave earlier. I'll just give the WhatsApp number. It's best to not call me, but to get me on WhatsApp, because my phone usually after interviews it can really ring. So the WhatsApp is easier for me to communicate with people, and it's the fastest way for me to communicate. And that's 770-316-4217. That's 770-316-4217, and that's WhatsApp.
Okay. And your website for the Africa 2021 Year of Healing, the website is www.acawf.com. www.acawf.com. So I want to make sure that we send our listeners there to support your initiative and be part of this awesome tour and festive event. So, Doc, let's talk a little bit more about, we've got a few moments remaining, let's talk a little bit more about your special conditions of your citizenship petition.
Okay, so December 28, 2016, 34 diasporan Africans who live here in Ghana were able to receive their citizenship here in Ghana based on being a petition that says that we are your children who were stolen away illegally, and we have the right to return. and not to be seen the same as a foreigner, like the China man and the Lebanese man and the Indian man and the white man. So we don't need, we're standing in lines in immigration looking at all these people, and it's like that don't look like us, and we're like, we shouldn't be here. We shouldn't be here. We should be considered differently. We're your children coming back home. You're always asking us about coming and bringing our skills and, our money and this, that, and the other, but you're still not letting us have the citizenship. So it was a long fight over some, years. There's people who have been here almost 50 years, 30 years, and been fighting on the grounds, but it was really a stronger fight, I would say, in the last maybe 10 years, because there was an African diasporan coalition that was put together with about 13 organizations here on the ground, Pan-African organizations on the ground, that came together and said, let's, really try to push this through. And with all of that, it still was having, some run-ins because people, we're having trust issues amongst each other. We don't want to give up our information of what we're doing. We don't want everybody to know what, the money that we bring in, and, just a bunch of things that we normally do, as people when it comes down to how we don't trust each other. So that kind of got in the way. Then a few people said, let's just go ahead and just go in together and try to do it. And then that was going a normal way, which you have to be here like 7 years to even qualify for the normal process. And so then that wasn't really working. So then there was a Dr. Mulana, who's a African historian here from out of the States. I want to say Detroit, but he's been here for a long time, like more than 30 years. And so he's always been teaching African studies at the Du Bois Center. Just I think it was every Saturday or Sunday for about 10 years, and he's had lots of different people to come through and different students. And so one of his mentees actually grew up to become the secretary to the president at the time, President Mahama, in 2016. So he was able to get to him and say, look, you're the secretary. I need you to get something to the president. This is a petition for me to get my citizenship, and based on me being a stowaway and taken here illegally, and I want the right to return. And then he just basically put his information, who he was, what he's done since he's been here in Ghana, how many people he's might have helped through employment, or if he has an NGO, just whatever, all the information, about himself. Put the petition in. The secretary slid it through, and then he said, okay, we're going to give him citizenship. So he got it. So basically what he did was say, okay, look, this is what I did. And it was the same petition that we had talked about in the first place. It was the same petition we had talked about during the times when we were all coming together. It's just that he decided, let me just go ahead and do it on my own and see what happens, because he has somebody on the inside. So basically, he decided, okay, I have mine. I'm going to show you, we're going to do the same. I'm going to show you exactly what I did. You're going to take my petition, put your name, put your information, put everything that you've done, and then we're going to all come together and then submit it, to through the same process. So some people did it. Some people, were skeptical about the process. I was one of them. I was kind of skeptical. I was like, okay, let me see what happens to y'all first. One of those type of things. And so basically,
that's a great idea.
So basically they put in so many applications. I can't remember how many it was, but out of the ones they submitted, 34 people were actually able to get their citizenship on December 28th, 2016. So this 28th of this year is going to be the 4-year anniversary of the first time that African diasporans has received citizenship based on that petition in the history of Africa.
Oh, wow.
So,
that's a milestone.
So after that, it's a serious milestone, because we're talking about 400 years plus, right? So
yes.
It was a very big deal. I was there to be able to witness it. I think more than half the people that was there, I knew them. I've been knowing for a long time. And I was just really happy to see to be a part of it, just to witness it, right?